Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. I am your host, Michael Karvelis, and this is Daily Dive. It is Friday, November 28, 2025, and this show begins now. It is week one of the NLL season. We are streaming live via the airwaves of North American Talk Radio on YouTube. And be sure to subscribe to help out the channel. And just, be sure you don't have to, who wants to be on Twitter all day and find out when the show's happening? I mean, it's every day at 10 o'clock, but there's other things like segments and other cool stuff that pops up. So that's what she said, but you'll be happy about that. Before we get started, I want to let you know the show is presented by the Event Tickets tab at the Natter website. Head to natalkradio.com and click that tab and search for your favorite or local National Lacrosse League team. And again, I said it before, we're on Vivid Seats, but I feel like with StubHub NLL partnership, I don't know, but it still gives you tickets either way. So we appreciate that. On today's awesome show, our first guest will be Gamble Guy. Sharp tongue, sharp bets. Watching NLL hardcore for the first time this year. He is excited to get rocking and rolling. He's so hard right now. Our second segment will be another guest, Pat Gregoire, who's not from France, but sounds like it. He's actually from Oshawa today. He should be at the TCC as we speak, so we'll bring him on. And, of course, we will give the show's pick'em from myself, Joel Watson, Hunter Smith, and Frick. And then our best bets from myself, Frick, and Gamble Guy. Gamble Guy, of course, will get his on air. And then, of course, we'll remind you of what Captain's Ladder looks like based on yesterday's show. Enough mumbo jumbo. Let's get into this now. Gamble Guy's here. Oh, my.
I can't believe you said I'm hard. My eyes are up here. Let's go. They call it Black Friday. I call it Bright Friday because officially Christmas time. I got the tree up.
That's right.
We got tennis tonight. We got Purdue basketball at noon. Big time football tonight. I love it. And my first full season of watching the National Lacrosse League. And I'm coming hot with some bets. You couldn't even believe I'm making 4 bets in my first ever attempt. Let's go.
Well, we all have to lose our virginity someday, and here, that's the mug is perfect. Thank you, sir. Okay, so there are 4 games this week, and scrolling across the bottom is the FanDuel odds from the FanDuel Sportsbook, just because I had to choose a book, and they were the ones this week I chose. So I believe, like you said, have all 4 bets. All games have a bet for you. So let's jump right into the game tonight. Toronto against Albany. I'm so sorry. Woo! Wow, that hurts. Woo! Albany is in Oshawa tonight. I can't even do it. Toronto's in Oshawa tonight. Okay? The Rock are favored. The total's at 23.5. What is your take on this game and why?
I think you're still flustered by calling me hard. Oh, let's go. Listen, I'm sure Oshawa's excited to open up at the Tribunal Community Center or whatever, Tribunal Community Center. I mean, they are excited, very excited. Not so fast, my friend. The Toronto Rock didn't move. They're not in a new home. Correct. And they're hungry from last year's bad showing. I like the Toronto Rock. And you know what? I'm going to lay the 1.5. I really don't care. If you look at their point differential last year, right?
Yeah.
It was better than almost all the teams with a losing record. They had a pretty good point differential.
Correct.
Outscored 208 to 109. I think they were a piece or 2 away from being a really good team. Of course, they were next to last behind Las Vegas. But this is more of I told you backstage, of my 4 bets, this was the one. It was more of a gut feeling, not just, I don't have a ton of data. But right. I feel like Toronto's going to ruin. I don't like doom and gloom. I don't like sad stories, but I just feel like everybody's hyped up about Oshawa's home opener after the big move from Albany. And I just feel like Toronto's going to come in and take a big steam and dump on that celebration. So
It would be interesting. I'll put it this way. I am shocked because you'll see on our pick'em graphic later on the show, full disclosure, not many people believe in The Rock in the first game. I don't know why. I actually really love, because last year when the Riptide went to Ottawa, like when Long Island relocated to Ottawa, I was on the same mindset. Like, they're still readjusting, even though they're from there. They had to readjust. And I feel like that does matter. Like, they're not comfortable in their own barn yet. They couldn't be.
No. New arena, new barn, new fans, new surroundings, a lot of high expectations.
Pressure.
High expectations sometimes lead to really disappointed results. So we'll see. I mean, it's just a gut feeling of the 4 games I picked.
Show your mug. It's like, sweaty sticks. That's how it feels. You know what I'm saying? Yes. All right. Next game. We got a few of them tomorrow night. First one is San Diego in Ottawa. The other but this one with a Toa. The Fighting Jeff Teat and the Black Bears, they're hosting. Seals were favored, and that also is a little bit odd to me. Just full disclosure, these teams are weird because, like, the Seals get their goalie back, but it's like, has the Black Bears defense improved? Where are you at with this San Diego Ottawa game, sir?
I don't care who's going to win. All I know is this game will be played by the 2 highest scorers last year. Teat and why don't I remember his name?
Wesley Berg.
Thank you. Yes. So I'm taking the over 22.5. I think that's going to be a fairly easy number to hit.
Yeah.
On the over, and whoever wins. I mean, good for them. But that's the angle I'm taking.
Seals last year had 215 goals. Black Bears only had 183, but I think, like you said, like Wesley Berg obviously helps that. I'm curious to see how comfortable Jeff Teat looks, because for a down year when you still score 56 goals, like, that seems pretty good. And the fact that Origlieri is still halfway in the firefighting department right now, the Seals goalie, could happen.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Black Bears fixed their defensive problems overnight. So yeah, I like the over. That's a good pick.
Well, I mean, if Teat can score 3 or 4, Berg score 3 or 4, we're almost halfway to our over under. I'm feeling good about that one. Looks like you have a viewer, Rock, Seals, Bandits, Warriors. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, and I like, again, picking the Rock seems like a bold prediction at this point. The Seals Black Bears game to me is the hardest one to pick just straight up. I'm winning, because I don't know, like, who's going to take the step, who's going to fall back, etc. It's two of those teams where it's like, it's middling and everyone's like standings. Like, people think they make the playoffs. Like, the first match was going to tell us a lot, in my opinion. So I do like picking the Seals, though. Good for them.
Yeah.
And as for, again, the over, that almost made my best bet. So that was well done. And watch it fall flat on his face, but hey, we're good.
Hey, it's my first year as a full NLL fan, so I have a pretty good track record of betting in general.
There you go.
I'm going to soak in the first weekend and see where I was wrong. I'm feeling good about the first 2, though. I'm just telling you, I'm a human emotions guy. I think the Rock are going to take advantage of the Oshawa pressure, and I think the 2 highest scorers from last year in one game is going to put us over. I'm feeling good.
I like it too. All right, third game. Welcome to the dark side. Thank you, Captain. Thank you for your ladder as well. Georgia Swarm at the Buffalo Bandits tomorrow night, 7:30. All times are Eastern, by the way. I didn't mention that before. Swarm are it's very weird because we don't know what they're going to be. They could be super competitive, but Pat Gregoire said last on OTCB podcast After Dark, they might have to be a top 3 defensive team to make the playoffs, which could be true. Buffalo Bandits defending 3-time champions. Crazy. What's your take?
It's crazy. Look, this might be the game. This probably is the game of the week. I mean, Georgia was 9-9 last year, but their goal differential, they were only outscored by 3 goals the entire season. That tells me they were a play here or there away from 12, 13 wins. I think this is the game of the week, but you never bet against the 3-time defending champ in week 1. You just don't do it. Because can anybody dethrone these guys? So far, no. I'm taking the Bandits money line on this one, just straight up. But Oshawa's the game of the week. Oh, because he's there. Okay. I just saw one of the comments. But I think pound for pound, this is probably going to be the tightest game, I would think. But I got the Bandits money line just because, honestly, they're the best team in the league right now.
You know, I like the idea of just don't fade the champs yet. You gave me the cover. I can change it on the graphic later, but when people see that graphic,
Did I? Okay. No. Let's stick with what I said to begin
that's fine.
with. Yeah, I'll lay the 1.5. That's where the gamble really comes in again, because Georgia was only outscored by 3 goals all year last year. That's on average 0.3 goals per loss. So it could go either way.
Andrew Q had 28 goals last year. And Brendan Bomberry had 13. They are now away from the team in different places, so that might help your cover, just for the record.
Yeah.
But even though I've said Andrew Q's last year was not that great, even though he's clutch, it's a lot of empty calories if you look at the numbers. But I like the cover.
I mean, if we're going to talk about it, Buffalo had the 2 leading points per game players last year in Josh Byrne and Dane Smith. So
there you go. Yes.
Unless those guys have bum ankles and a little bit of a drinking problem last night, and they're still trying to get the hang of it.
That's right.
Or no, that game's tomorrow. So as long as they don't drink heavily tonight, I think they'll be okay.
Good job. All right. Vancouver Warriors are hosting the Colorado Mammoth. Warriors are -170, also -1.5. The total's at 21.5. Dude, Graham Perro, and this, I believe this might go to your point. Last night, Graham Perro sent a question to the OTCB mailbag, and he was saying, so many teams have high expectations and don't even live up to half of them. And I'm paraphrasing, but is it possible Vancouver's not as great as they are? Kermolowski was on record on Lax Class this week saying, I do not like our preseason. I'm like, week 1 could be a dandy. What is your thoughts on Colorado and Vancouver?
I like taking the points with Colorado. This is a rematch of the season opener last year where Colorado beat them 11-7. So I kind of like taking the 1.5. I think we're going to have, I could be completely wrong, I think we're going to have a lot of tight games week 1. I think there's been a lot of build up to this season. I think the CBA and all the behind the scenes and people, quite frankly, attacking you with some rumors. Everybody's been in a tizzy, and I think that's been a build up. Again, I'm a motion guy, to what we may look back and say this was a wild first weekend where we had a lot of tight games. I'm feeling this is going to be close. Colorado beat them in the season opener last year. I'm sticking with the Mammoth. I'm taking the 1.5 goals.
I like that. And Del Bianco Ward is an interesting matchup because those, last year, Del Bianco was disgusting when he got to Vancouver finally. Ward had a 79.6, which is up there with the elite of the elites. And the team was 8-9 with him somehow.
Right.
He could keep them in the game single-handedly. And if that offense is not gelling to where Kurt Malofsky feels like he needs to say something like that, that could help your cover a lot.
Well, I mean, no offense to Del Bianco. He is what he is, but 82% save percentage last year. But I mean, most of these guys have pretty impressive, who's the best? Who's the best, save percentage in the league?
I would go with Del Bianco, gun to my head, but
82% is the best then?
Yeah. So Nick Rowe. That's if you hit 82, you if you're not leading it, someone else went berserk. I'll put it that way. Because Nick Rose and Del Bianco were both only guys doing that last year.
Yeah, Nick. I mean, there was a couple ahead of them, but I mean, they didn't have the games played.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
But if you do anything over 80, you're one of the best goalies in the world.
Okay. Well, I mean, because I'm looking at the standings now on NLLstats.com.
Graham Perro, shout out.
And it looks like most people are 75% or higher. So it's 75 to 82% is kind of the range there. 75 to 78 is kind of but 78 and above is come on. Okay. Yeah. Still taking the Mammoth.
After all that.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Are you excited? I mean, I know you are, but how are you we're balancing football and all this other sports right now. I think NLL is up there, man. I think NLL is fun to watch.
Are you asking how am I going to do it?
I'm asking, how are you? Are you excited for the season?
Yes. I mean, if you're asking how am I going to juggle football and all that, Daddy's got 2 TVs in the room. So, yeah. So I'll be watching my Boilermakers get completely curb stomped by the end of the night, while I also watch the Toronto Rock get me my first bet ever in the NLL.
That would be sick. Thank you, Gamble Guy, for coming on the show. It has been awesome. Nice fedora. Is that what that's called? That's exactly.
Thanks for coming on the show.
That's so many references. Have a great one, man. Oh yeah, I was waiting. That was good. Perfect mug, by the way. Not just the face. Not just. Oh, that's bad. All right. Coming up next is Pat Gregoire. Boots on the ground. Speaking of the devil, he is in the Oshawa. We'll be right back, Daily Dive. Don't go anywhere. I know you won't.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Boots on the ground. Boots on the ground. What's up, man? Oh, this guy. Unmute, pal.
How we doing? Are we good now? First time on this thing, right?
Yeah, he would say that. So is that inside the arena? Wow. That's a nice place.
It's actually a wicked barn. The Ottawa Generals OHL team plays here. Got a lot of great I've been here, a billion times. So it's pretty cool seeing the turf out, having a pro team here. And the buzz is real around the city, around the area. I'm ready to get this thing going, man.
Is this Walking Bets?
This might be Walking Bets. Unfortunately, not as visually appealing as the original version.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right, so we just found out what the cigar was from Gamble Guy. That's him saying Oscar something or other 201. There you go.
Well, that's not a big deal. Obviously, his bets have been going well.
So I did add to the bio that you're OTCB. Are you tired from last night?
No, I'm all fired up from last night. I mean, OTCB After Dark was great. I want to thank you and all the other viewers and listeners for hopping in. That was great. It was good to have the chat, despite it getting a little unhinged at some points. But it was a lot of fun, man.
Full disclosure for the people, Pat Gregoire does represent Coolbet. I just put FanDuel. I'm sorry, man. The ticker will display accordingly. However, there are 4 games to get to, but we're going to focus on the ones you want to as well first, and we'll see if we have time afterwards.
Sure.
Obviously, the elephant in the room is the room you're in. You and Teddy Bear are up there with Toronto at Oshawa. Tell me how you're feeling about this game. Gamble Guy, in case you're wondering, just came on the show and thought the Rock could not only win but cover because the relocation thing, which no one's taking the Rock. They're all taking Oshawa, me included. How are we feeling?
This one, you couldn't pay me to pick a side. I think both these teams are supremely even matched. Very young, youthful offenses. You get a healthy Mark Matthews, who I think is going to have just a fantastic year with Toronto. I think Dyson Williams is really poised to have such a breakout season. And then you look at the defenses, I think you could definitely argue Toronto's defense is a little more top heavy with some of the bigger names like Latrell Harris and Brad Cree. But when you look at Albany's defense, they're deep, man. They are deep. They're a hardworking, gritty group. You've talked about their grit and getting under guys' skin. And you look at the two goalies, man, number 1 and number 2 in save percentage last year. And everyone wanted to talk about how a little bit of a down year for Doug Jamieson, which I don't buy. So
Right.
not picking a side, but where I am going, I talked about those two great goalies and the great defense. I like the under 23. I know there's some 23s and a half you can get out there. If you
Right.
buy the half point at Coolbet right now, I think that gets you to like minus 126 or something like
That's
that.
not bad at all. That's good value.
Yeah, and I get it. There is some explosiveness to both these offenses here, but I
Correct.
just look at the history of Nick Rose. He's got a 5-1 record against this Oshawa/Albany franchise over the years. Below just below an 11 goals against average. So you know what? Like for me, I could see this game being, a 10-9 final, something like that.
Correct.
So it might get a little bit sweaty near the end, but I don't know. I just trust the defense and the goaltending on both this side to keep this a little more of a tidier game.
I went 11-9. I could see like you say 11-10.
Yeah,
getting it
11-9
close.
makes a ton of sense.
So here's and I love the under. Like I said, I actually love under 23. So if I'm a person who encourages people to take the half point if they can buy it somewhere, because
For sure.
obviously you don't want to get screwed either way. But I would be having under 22.5, honestly, because I feel like you said, the defense is, if like we can trust the offense when we want to, but here's the thing: Toronto's got a couple of rookies they're gonna have to break in
Yep.
real game time now. The Firewolves are still trying to hope that Kurtz can bounce back and hope that Dyson takes the step, which he should.
Mhm.
But then I think that's overshadowed, like you said, by the goalies, by the defense. I don't see a scenario. How do we get over that? I wouldn't see it happening.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't shock me, but I trust that Doug Jamieson and Nick Rose are going to be coming out here and giving their best. Usually early on in the season, I wish I had the data in front of me.
Right.
Usually the start of the year, it's the offense that has a little more of the edge. I just think when you look at Toronto, there's a lot of change. When you look at Oshawa, like you mentioned, some youth there as well. I think we're looking at two offenses that could be within the top 5 in scoring, maybe even the top 4 in scoring.
But not
But
now.
that's at the end of the year.
Yes.
That's at the end of the year.
Love that. I'm on 2 player props in this game. I just want to go. I think we both agree on 1, the Dyson Williams 1.5 goals. Shout out Coolbet for those, by the way.
Yeah, so
he's going to break out.
You're getting plus money on that as well, which I just don't
Yeah.
understand. Watching him in preseason, the guy looks confident. He looks bigger, stronger, faster. That overtime winner that he scored against Halifax to shoot through the screen, just even have the range to reach around the defender, use him as a screen. So,
Effortless.
and also, like this arena here, he's from Oshawa. He literally is born and raised in Oshawa. His house is 10 minutes away from here.
Wow.
We were talking to him yesterday. He used to come to this arena, watch the Oshawa Generals and John Tavares play. Not the John Tavares. John Tavares is the other one, the hockey player.
That's right.
Used to watch him play junior hockey here in this building.
Wow.
He's been to many concerts here. So he's like, it's a dream come true that he never thought would be. He said, he's like, it's not really a dream come true because you never thought that this could be possible. So he's going to be playing motivated. He's going to have a full section of family and friends here. So there's no way he's getting held to just one goal. And then the other one you like, which it's not an official play for me, but Mark Matthews over 5.5. We're going to talk about Mr. Oshawa being Dyson Williams. Well, Mark Matthews was Mr. Oshawa before Dyson Williams
Really?
was playing. Oh yeah, he's born and raised in Oshawa. Whippy Warriors legend. Again, he said he's going to have a bunch of family and friends in this building. He's healthy. He told us today or during this week that he gets the shoulder surgery done, which probably he needed it done 12 years ago, which is insane considering this guy is a Hall of Famer. But he said with him taking almost the full season off last year, not playing at all this summer, it's not just the shoulder that got better with the surgery. He said everything is. He doesn't have any lingering injuries, any sort of these, bumps and bruises over the years. They've all healed. He is in the best shape of his career, and he really feels like he has not felt any better. So the fact that we're getting a healthy Mark Matthews, if that shoulder's been bothering him over the last 12 years and he's been putting up that many points, what's he going to do when he's fully healthy? So I like that play as well, Mike. I think you're onto something there.
I'm scared, Pat, of how good he's going to be. Another quick point on him. Well, 2 points I want to make. One is Mark Matthews. He's got the hockey assist being counted as one assist on this as well, which I think does matter. I think if he gets one goal, hopefully that'll help, which I'm sure he will. But I think he's going to keep on feeding those rookies, man. Keep on feeding them, man.
Well, you bring up a great point, because over the last, when you think of a Mark Matthews stat line, you think of like 1 goal and 7 assists, or 2 goals and 6 assists. Like, he is one of the greatest playmakers the game has ever seen. And as you can see out here in Oshawa, we're getting some snow. Here.
I heard
it
about
is
that,
lacrosse season. So you think about that, but like, even watching him in preseason, he's still taking his opportunities to the net when they present themselves. He had that 1 goal in their first exhibition game, I think it was, where he just pulled through the defense and just hammered one on net. But you're right. Like, not only is he going to be a premier piece of this offense, another thing he is in charge of and he's embracing is being the mentor to those 2 other lefties in Kirst and Hiltz. So I think he's going to be feeding those boys all day long. They're going to be shooting the rock. So over 5.5 certainly seems like a good bet.
Under 23 at Cool Bet and over 1.5 Dyson. Love it. Can you parlay the player props?
You can't, but not same games. You can parlay, throughout the entire weekend. Can't do same game props, but we do have a Cool Bet, our exclusive bets or combo cards. So if you do go to coolbet.com, go to the top, and a little bit closer to game time, you'll see some same game parlays that you can, piece together some things and hit that exclusive tab. That's where you'll find Teddy and my exclusive parlay. That's where you'll see the loose mesh parlay. That's where you see the lax class parlay. This week, our parlay is not really a parlay, Mike, but it is an exclusive. Yeah. Plus 95 gold. Hey, it wasn't my favorite bet, but the fans voted on it. Fans voted on it, so you can get that plus 150.
We have so many options here with bets, anyways. All right,
Mike. I don't want to make you upset, but look at all the merch here, man. Look at all the merch here.
I'm
flying
glad
off the shelves, man. Flying off the shelves.
If it was up to the team, they would have it online, but the fact they could get the merch there, shout out to them anyways.
I heard they had their pop-up shop and it sold out within hours.
There was definitely a Dyson jersey too. So they actually had player jerseys, and I had never seen those before.
No, there's not too many franchises that do the player jerseys. I know Halifax does it, Buffalo does it, but it's great. Yeah, they've fully embraced this thing, man. They've fully embraced it.
Georgia, Buffalo. I know again, folks. Their walk around tour. I love this. But Georgia, Buffalo is I'm checking DraftKings right now. Georgia at plus 1.5 is actually plus 100. I don't know how many people actually believe it's going to happen. This guy. 23.5 is the total. Is Gamble Guy said our first time he believes you don't fade the champs in week 1. How are you feeling?
I said it on multiple programs now. It's crazy that we've gotten to a point where Coach Tavares can now go in this locker room and be like, nobody believes in us, guys. They don't think we can win again. Now all of a sudden they're the underdogs because nobody's picking them. And let's be honest, no one should be sleeping on them, but they are. So they're my pick to win the title, because I'm just not going to bet against them again. I'm not going to, I did that last year. Why? Until they prove me wrong, until they don't win the title, I'm not picking them. So if they win again this year, next year, that'll be my pick as well. So, but in terms of today, in terms of this game, they're 2-0 on banner raising nights. Shout out PK from the BCS for throwing that out. The BSC, sorry, yes. Buffalo Sports Collective, go subscribe, listen to them. They do some great stuff. He mentioned that. They're 2-0 on banner raising night. So there's always people who say, it's a lot of distractions and a slow start, yada, yada. Well, they've proven that doesn't matter. The other fact of the matter is, man, I don't know enough about Georgia this year. There's too many question marks. A young offense, that young athletic defense, and which Brett Dobson do we see in that? Do we see the Brett Dobson that went into Bandit Land and shut them down last year? Or do we see a Brett Dobson who you have the ebbs and flows? So I don't know there. I trust the
Right.
Buffalo Bandits more. I think there's a chip on their shoulder. The insertion of Mitch DeSnew, I assume he's going to be good to go. I think that helps that defense transition out. But yeah, just Georgia's offense, there's too many young pieces there. I know they still got Lyle, and I think Lyle is like talking about player props. It's not too late to get on some futures. I would be thinking about hammering his over on goals. He looks locked in. I think there's going to be a lot more pressure on him, to have a big season.
Right.
So, but and you still got Shane Jackson, who it sounds like he was a little bit banged up last year, more than we probably even knew. And
That's
Brian
crazy.
Cole's great. But then it's like Carter Page and Caleb Benedict, two great young players, but like unproven. There's just a lot of uncertainty. Nolan Byrne, great junior player, unproven at the next level.
Correct. Against
So
Matt
for-
Vince, by the way. Going
Yeah,
against Matt
so like
Vince.
they might be good. They might be good this year. They might prove a lot of people wrong, and this youth movement might be a great move for John Arlotta and the Georgia Swarm. But game one, banner raising night, going into a sold out building at KeyBank Arena, it just seems way too much for such a young group. It's going to be a lot for them to overcome and go into that building and win that game.
Quick things on the futures. I'm glad you went there with the player props. Because Lyle Thompson had 93 last year. He's at 94.5, at least as far as the ones you sent me before on the Cool Bet player props. If you get rid of Andrew Q and Bomberry, like Brendan Bomberry, shout out Halifax, you stole it from us. No, but I really believe, and I posted a video on my own Twitter. I took it from Lyle's Instagram, which did surprisingly well. Lyle looks locked in. He always looks locked in. I like the over points on Lyle now. I really do.
I do too. I really do too. I think that, like I said, the ball is going to be in his stick even more. Maybe if Connor Kelly does eventually play for this team, then
That'd be nice.
That'd be nice. But that's also another righty for him to play with. So
Yes.
The fact they went into this season with only those three guys, they don't address it, kind of leads me to believe that at some point we're going to see Connor Kelly. To be quite honest.
Well, they wouldn't make the trade if they didn't know something could have happened.
Well, yeah, I mean, you hope so, right? Because you lose a great player in
you have to know something.
So for me, I'm right with you there. And I like if Georgia wants any sort of success, I said it last night on OTCB After Dark.
Top 3 or 4 defense.
They have to have a top 3 or 4 defense. They really
I told
do.
that to Gamble Guy too. I was like, they have great point by you. Another thing, Dane Smith. 134.5 points. People think, that's so high total. Dude, I talked about his goals. I like the points too.
Yeah.
You mentioned last night in one of your one of your bold predictions that Dane and Teach, I believe, are the ones you said will go over the record of points.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dane and Josh have a chance to do that.
So do I. That's why when I started, I was like, it'll be Teach or Dane, but I was like, okay, that's pretty bold. I will walk it back and say 2 players will do it, because I do agree. If Dane's putting up that many points, I mean, Byrne's going to be there as well if he's healthy. Because
Byrne being healthy is the key for that.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, if Josh is scoring, Dane's touched the ball at some point.
Yes.
And if Dane is scoring, it's coming from the stick. That east-west passing coming from Byrne. So I totally agree. I could see those 2 guys breaking it. I could see Teep. And I could see T being in that mix.
I could see Rezateritz.
The only issue with Rezateritz is obviously
the assists have to come.
Well, I mean, he had a great assist year last year.
Which is crazy.
I don't think a lot of people realize that, because they just assume, he's a goal scorer. So Rezateritz is in there because a lot of people are really down and out on the wings, and to be honest, so am I.
Should be. They should
be, because it's a rebuild. They're rebuilding that roster. They're rebuilding the team. It's intentional, right? You heard Paul Day on Lax Class basically say, like, we tried to go out and get the big names before, and look what it's done. So we're going to build through the draft. We're going to be a younger team this year. I don't think they're going to score, they're going to struggle to score goals.
No.
I think where they're going to struggle this year is defending and keeping the ball out of the net. And that's no knock against their two goalies. I love
Which is because Nick Damoon and Deacon Dodd are capable. We've seen
it's probably one of the best 1-2 punches in the game. But I just think the defense is far too unproven. And I just, on paper, at least, I just don't love that defensive unit. But I do think they can score some goals. With that, you do lose Mitch Jones. No doubt about that. That's going to hurt. But like that just presents more opportunity for Brent O'Neill. I really thought Eric Fennell looked awesome in that offense against Toronto in that exhibition game. Him and O'Neill looked really, really good together. So as a dark horse, now that you've understood what we were talking about with dark horses last night, Joe Rez is a great pick, man.
I'm excited. Let's just touch on the. I know you. I like the Black Bears to win the game. I'm surprised they're underdogs against the Seals. I was like, that's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Also, Mammoth Warriors. I mentioned the Gamble guy about Graham Perro's question because like we know what Malosky said about they did not like the preseason good, and it's good. Maybe lights the fire. We know that Mammoth did beat the style of them in the preseason game. And we know that Dylan Ward was amazing last year, despite only having an 8-9 record to show for it. Mammoth could shock the world this weekend.
I really, really feel like that there's a possibility that could happen. No, stop it. I really think that it's a possibility. I said it last night. I said it on Loose Mesh, which will come out, I think, today, they were saying.
There we go.
Vancouver's going to be good. There's a reason why everyone's on them. And I think they'll, like I said, Buffalo's my pick. Vancouver is really hard not to have them as my championship pick or my final pick. I haven't really done a final pick yet, but I have said Buffalo is going to be my winner. But with that being said, like obviously Vancouver's in the mix. With that being said, it's going to take a little time for that offense to gel. Sure, they've been coached under Malosky before. Sure, a lot of those guys have been together in Calgary, but then there's some other guys that haven't been there. Keegan Ball is a ball dominant, ball carrying righty. Charlem Beatty's on that left side. Like there's a lot of mouths to feed, and I think they're going to buy in and they're going to be fine, but it just might take a little while for them to acclimatize. And the other thing is Vancouver against Colorado, one of the most underrated rivalries in the NLL. And whenever those two teams play, it's always a close game. It's always crazy. There's fireworks. It's a tough game. We saw a fight between two vets last week. No bombs actually landed, but wouldn't be surprised if we see a fight there tonight. But Mike, honestly, man, it's like I think like the plus 1.5. Do I think Vancouver's going to probably win? Yes. Do I think there's just too much value on plus 1.5, or maybe even thinking about them to sprinkle to win? For sure. But if Vancouver ends up winning and they win by 2-3 goals, am I going to be ultimately surprised? No, but that's why they call it gambling, baby. You see an opportunity and you take it.
By the way, I'll just unveil this now. I do believe Vancouver wins the finals, for the record. I've shown this to you before, but you're not surprised that I haven't.
No, and as you should. Malosky's an unbelievable coach. Their defense on paper is disgusting, and they added more pieces. The offense is loaded. Like, I'll be honest. I know Malosky, said that he's not setting crazy expectations, and he's just worrying about getting better each and every week, which is great. Like that's just the mental aspect that he has. That's his mindset. That's how he keeps everyone grounded in that locker room. But I'm sorry, if this team doesn't reach the finals, it is a disappointing season.
Correct.
I don't care what he says. I don't care what anyone in that locker room says. From the outsiders looking in, and he doesn't give a crap about that, to be honest. He's being dead honest. He does not give
Good for him, then.
The only time he does care about is if he can use it as motivation to rile up and use that clipboard mentality, the billboard mentality. But, he doesn't care. He genuinely does not care. But with that being said, though, it will be deemed an unsuccessful season if that roster doesn't make it to the final. I'll be honest. They made it to the Final Four last year, and they got better.
Dude, now Del Bianco's got a full offseason with the team. They kept Clarich, they kept Keegan Ball, they kept Beatties, they kept. How do you keep all? Oh, and Grant, for crying out loud, the dark horse.
Yeah, the dark horse for transition player of the year.
I was whatever. Oh jeez. All right.
We're having fun here, Mike. We're having fun.
Next time you do an OTCB after dark or anytime you're on video, please, for the love of Christ, tell Teddy to sit up a little bit.
Sit up, not be napping. It's after dark, man. The guy was tired.
That was but and like the little Modelo break at the end was kind of funny too.
Oh, that was that was hilarious. No, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I know that was hilarious. But yeah, that was a lot of fun, Mike. Appreciate you being in the comments, and we're going to be doing it a lot more. Good. Can't really say what the schedule is looking at. To be honest, it was a little more successful than we thought. A lot of people reached out, said it's great. People have been watching back the replay, so we will probably, maybe once a month could be something. Maybe it's more than it, but. The next time we do it, we'll definitely have some guests. We'll bring someone on. Maybe Mike, maybe you can make an appearance on. But we're looking to have fun, and I'm just so excited for this season, man. I think the schedule makers cooked. I think yes. There's a few teams that I would love to see in an opening weekend, but in terms of this game here, the new rivalry, because I'll be honest, there is some bad blood between these two teams from last year, but also it's a bit of a turf war. Between these two teams. I think some people in Toronto think that Oshawa's stepping on their turf a little bit. And there's been some subtle jabs from the Oshawa side over to Hamilton or Toronto in the media as well. So this is going to be a lot of fun, man. I can't wait.
Have a call with you and Teddy. It's Ashley as well, right, on the sideline?
Yes, Ashley be on the sidelines. Teddy and myself in the booth. I'm actually trying to figure out where Teddy went. Maybe he left me already, but... We'll go see where he is.
More Modelo. All right, man. Have a safe time.
No Modelo on game days until after the call finishes.
Correct. Have a good day, Pat. Thanks for the tour, man.
See ya. Oh, of course.
Back with everybody. Hey, that was fun. Again, OTCB podcast. That was really fun last night. Let me get to that. That was dumb. Yeah, NLL TSN analyst, Cool Bet Country Manager, host of OTCB podcast, which is now on YouTube. We're not done, though, and I have unveiled my championship pick, but I'll break that down more at the end. When we come back, though, we are definitely getting to the Crew's picks and best bets. Who did Joel Watson and Frick have this week, among others? We'll be right back. We're going to wrap it up next. This is Daily Dive.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sports book, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Thanks so much for watching, everybody, all week long here on Daily Dive. Remember, tomorrow you will see a big replay of the shows with another Daily Dive marathon. See how long you can last. That's what she said again. Unbelievable. I had just unveiled my championship prediction. There it is. I got Vancouver to beat Saskatchewan in 3 games, and Vancouver will host the NLL Cup. All right. Now it's time for the Crew's picks and best bets. Here are the picks, by the way. Lots of chalk here. Well, not really chalk. Ottawa is the underdog, but I've got Oshawa to beat Toronto. I think Ottawa beats San Diego. I think Buffalo crushes Georgia. I think Vancouver holds on against Colorado. Joel Watson, same as me. Hunter Smith, same as me. But Frick, I was shocked that was the only pick that we all had different was Frick picking San Diego. So I wonder how that's going to go against San Diego's favored. But I feel like in Ottawa, I feel like Black Bears can do enough. I'm not bought into them yet, but I think they could show us a lot if they can beat down San Diego. Brett says, wow, yeah, I agree. This is boring. This part of the show is boring. I was like, come on, man. Come on. Oh, well. Reminder, and we're about to get to our best bets here. Captain had a safe ladder. Here is that. Let me show his hat. I'm so sorry. Captain, who will be in Oshawa tonight with a media pass. He is going to interview some fans. Reach out to him if you see him. He's also going to interview some players after the game. Here's a safe ladder presented by the good people at Elevated Truck and Crane. He said the Warriors money line against Colorado. That, of course, is tomorrow night. $50 to reach 79. That's USD, by the way. I think he goes by Canada dollars, though. But it's minus 170. He's doing him via Bet365. His greedy ladder, where he has to do plus odds every week. Step 1 is going to be Rock Firewolves under 23.5, which I agree with. Warriors money line, and that's a plus 191, which 50 to reach 145. The goal, I believe, is to reach $10,000, which is pretty cool. But that's his ladders, and there you see it's a restricted area. But please, of course, bet responsibly. Now, this is the one I think we've been waiting for. You know, I honestly did a very good job with best bets last year. I don't know why I didn't have my record ready with me right now, but the last 2 years I've been feeling very confident. This year is a year of parity, and while I do have Vancouver to win it in the end, here are the Crew's best bets, and we'll read them off to you here. Don't worry about that. Gamble Guy, early in the show, you heard his bets. He thought the Rock could cover against Oshawa. That's at plus. I put plus 20. Oh my God. Anyways, it's at plus money on. That's so funny. On Cool Bet. So there's that. I will fix that when we repost. That's just sickening. He thought the relocation thing. San Diego, Ottawa. Over. That almost made my best bets, but it ultimately did not. But I do love that. Bandits to cover against Georgia. He says, don't bet against the champs. Colorado to cover against Vancouver. And that's his. There's 4 individual bets, by the way, so they don't count as a parlay. You can. I don't recommend. Frick has got the Firewolves money line against Toronto, which is surprisingly all the way at plus 120 on DraftKings. I'm going to check that again real quick. But that's crazy. Yeah, it's still at plus 120. So Frick's getting plus money there. He also did a loose mesh parlay of sorts, but this is like his individual best bets. He went over in that game, which is crazy, fading me and Pat Captain. Like, do what you got to do, man, but best of luck, not. And Colorado, Vancouver, over 21.5. I like that one. I think that game could have a bunch of penalties, as even Pat mentioned. So I love the over in that game as well, even though it did not make my best bets. Now let's get to mine. I've got the Rock Firewolves under 23.5 for everything we talked about with Pat Gregoire and Gamble Guy earlier. I think that Nick Rose and Doug Jamieson are really good. I think that the defense of both teams will step up. It could be physical and slow-paced. And I just think that we're hitting under 23.5. Bandits to cover against Georgia. I love that pick. It's not just funny how I couldn't even give. Is that still okay? Yeah, so those odds did change. I apologize. The best odds on that, again, I will fix these. They change so much, but the best odds are now minus 127 on Cool Bet. So it was at minus 110 when I got it. Obviously, I will not count that now. But I do think Bandits cover. I think they flex their muscles on a team that we don't really know what's going to happen with. Dyson Williams back to the Oshawa Toronto game. I think he will be disgusting this year. He had a lot of usage last year. That will only uptick this year. And Mark Matthews over 5.5 points. I cannot tell you guys how much the books are going to regret this later this year. I think, and this is a lot of preseason watching for me, but I do believe that Mark Matthews is going to have like 4 or 5 assists, hockey style, like with the secondary. I think he'll reach 8 or 9 points tonight. I'm going to go with 8, but I think it's more than 5.5. So that's my thing on that, and that is our best bets. Now, why do I have Vancouver winning the finals? Just to wrap things up here. Because I think at the end of the year, this team will be locked in. I am on the record saying they have a silly roster, which I don't even know if they can keep it next year with so many guys you have to feed in terms of money, that is. I just think Vancouver is going to get through. And for the record, if you missed it yesterday, I did have Vancouver beating Las Vegas in the first round in single elimination. I have them beating Oshawa in 3 games in the semi, and I have them, of course, beating Saskatchewan in 3 in the finals. And, of course, Saskatchewan takes out Georgia and then Toronto, respectively. So there's that. But I hope you guys enjoy the NLL season. Full disclosure, I will not be able to live tweet the game tonight. I have something to do at work as I try to break into my job, but I'll try to keep an eye on it and make tweets as I can. I will be fully invested tomorrow night, though. Believe me, I will be tweeting a lot, but I hope you guys enjoy the games weekend. Follow us, daily.lax on Twitter and Instagram. The Instagram has been popping. Bunch of reels posted there. Thank you for that. I'm at Michael Karvelis on Twitter. That's where I fire up a bunch of people. Questions or concerns, daily.lax@gmail.com. Or if you want to give us a sponsor, business inquiries, that'd be cool too. All right, folks, like I said, enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Have fun. Give us your NLL hot takes on Monday because Frick will be here to recap it all with me, as he will be every Monday this season. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. See you Monday, 10 o'clock Eastern, right here on North American Talk Radio. Bye.